Source players. Okay, so I just washed my hair. My hair's wet. That's why I look like this. Some things I want to address right now while it's fresh in my mind. Okay, this device. Okay, your pendulum. Your pendulum is a tool that your source self uses to answer questions for you and you only. That means you should not be asking your source self any questions relating to anybody else for whatever reason that you are doing it. Okay, unless that person is physically right there with you. Okay, if that source player or NPC is right there with you in the same room that you are occupying, then it's okay to ask. But still, I would still recommend refraining from asking anything that does not relate to you directly or indirectly. And this also relates to making predictions. Okay? This is not a divination tool. This is not a divination tool. Your source self is not psychic. Okay? And if you ask it questions, if you ask your source self questions about future events, Judy has already advised you not to ask these questions. Still, I am constantly asked to check my source self, to check my pendulum, to do this, I'm saying this with all kindness and all respect. Please do not ask me for anything like this ever again. Okay? It's not about any one person, but because if incorrect answers are given, and you make a choice based on those answers that I've provided, I'm not being held responsible for those choices because you essentially made the choice to listen and act upon what was said. And I was operating in good faith that what my source self gave me was accurate. But as I've proven to myself many times, your source self is not a psychic. And it's not going to predict future events. So, okay, something was asked recently of me within the last month or so, and these things are not happening right now, okay? So, I apologize for any incorrect information I've given anybody, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to be held responsible for any actions that you take when you know you should not be asking anyone else to ask their pendulum ask anything of their pendulum or their source self. Unless that person is completely outside of their soul cage and they have a strong connection to their source self. They have reached outside of their cage. Okay, they are a freed source player. You can then maybe perhaps ask them questions, but anybody that sends me any question like this, I'm just not going to answer it. I'm giving you that heads up now. This is like a people-pleasing trait within me that is still like latent from all my previous programming. So when somebody asks questions of me, specifically because I'm offering like guidance and help, and I have this channel and my site and everything like that, it's like in my nature, plus the fact that I do customer support for a living and I problem solve and answer questions, it's like an innate response in me. And I do not like disappointing people. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to try to answer, but at the end of the day, I know deep down, because I just don't want to say no, or the person doesn't want to accept no. And so I ask it and then the answer's wrong. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, you have to be okay with no. You have to be okay with no. And that's a boundary at this point that I need to set. Just do not ask me these questions. Do not ask me any future predictions. I'm not a psychic. I have intuition, but that intuition often applies to what I see with pattern recognition and what I just know. Okay? And I cannot explain it, and I do not use it for other people. So, again, I'm sorry If there were any decisions or choices that you made based on something I said because you asked me a question that you know you shouldn't have been asking, and me asking and me giving an answer that I know I should not have been giving. So I take full responsibility for my part in that. And going forward, I'm not answering any of these questions. Not answering any questions that relate to, can you ask your pendulum this? Can you ask your source self this? Not doing it. Just not. Okay? I'm working on my connection just like you are. I am. Okay? And I know that we want to be prepared, as do I. Okay? So I have a lot going on right now. And if I don't share information, it's because I'm trying to, make moves right now. So that's that. Yeah. So please, again, refrain from asking me these questions. I'm just not going to answer them. I'm not going to. Okay? All right. Thanks. Bye.